In this video, we're going to see how to calculate profitabilities. So we're going to continue with the exercise we had been doing, this Creamy exercise, in which we had already prepared the payment, expense, and cost table. We have already calculated the productivity and a break-even point. So it's time for the profitabilities. And here you have the information. You have to calculate the return on equity, the return on assets, both after taxes, and you also have to calculate the shareholder profitability. We're going to do it all together. So the first thing you need is to remember which are the variables you need for this. So the first one is going to be always the economic result. And then if it's after taxes, you're going to need taxes. And after that, in order to calculate the return on equity, you need the equity, the net equity. And then you have to adjust that equity, okay? So the economic result was on the table. Remember here we have the economic result. Taxes are 25% of that amount of that economic result. Net equity has to be here. This is data from the information you have, and it says total net equity 40,000. So 40,000 euros. And adjusted net equity is net equity minus the capital grant. So let me check here if we have any capital grant. Yes, we have one, this one, 20,000. Okay, so it's still in the chart. So that's what we have to remove from this 40,000 in order to get the adjusted net equity. That is it. And now you just have to apply the formula for the return on equity, which is the economic result minus taxes all together divided by the adjusted net equity. So you calculate it and then you have your result. Let's go now for the variables of the return on assets. You're going to need the economic result and taxes again. And this time we're going to need the financial interest. So we need the financial interest. And on the bottom part, we have to use the total assets or the total investment or the total liabilities. Okay, so it's going to be the total investment. And then we have to calculate the net investment. So we have the economic result, we have taxes, we just did it. We have the financial interest. This is also in the table. So I just go up here and I check the financial interest. And I'm going to choose it from here, from expenses, because I'm working with the economic result, which means you have incomes and expenses. So whatever you have to add or subtract, you have to take it from here. So I'm going to subtract these 3,000 financial interest expenses. And for the total investment, there's this common misconception or this common mistake about what to choose. Do I choose total assets or do I choose total liabilities? Because remember, the right side in the balance sheet, it's called liabilities. So this is kind of confusing because you have total liabilities, but the amount is not the same as total assets. Because this total liabilities is just one part of that column. So if you don't want to do it wrong, what you have to take is this total assets, because this is a bigger amount. So you take the bigger amount, you're doing it right. That's going to be the total investment. And now you have to remove from the total investment suppliers. And here it says that suppliers are 30,000. So you do that, minus 30,000, you get the net investment. It's time to apply the formula for the return on assets, which is the economic result minus taxes plus financial interest, economic result minus taxes plus financial interest, all together divided by net investment. And there you go. When working with the profitability is where you can see that we're doing an exercise. This is not real life. Why or how you know it? Because look at this profitability. 70%, 69%. It's too much, okay? It's a lot. Even this 17% is a lot. This is not real life. Because this is what happens when you simplify the exercise and then simplify it again and then simplify it once more, so you can operate with it during the class. So you make it manageable for students. So you don't worry if you get a super big or super strange return on profitability, return on equity or return on assets. Don't worry. It's just because this is an exercise, prepare for the class, and somewhere the exercise, let's say, explodes, and this is the place where you can see it's just an exercise, not real life. Okay, so the other profitability that we had to calculate was this one, the shareholder profitability. And it says, this is important, share price is 5, total dividend is 30%. So what are the variables we're going to need for this profitability? For the shareholder one, we need the economic result, we're going to need taxes, and companies can pay dividends always after taxes. So we need to have the result after taxes in order to calculate the dividends. So that's called, net profit. And then we need to have the total dividend. We need to have the number of shares because this total dividend is going to be divided between all shares. That will allow us to calculate the dividend per share. And we need to have the share price. How much does it cost one share? So let's get these amounts and then we can apply the formula. The economic result and taxes are super easy. We just got them. The net profit is just the economic result minus taxes. So you just remove taxes from the economic result, you get it. How much is the total dividend? It says total dividend is 30%. So you apply that 30%. How many shares do we have? We need the number of shares because we're going to divide 8,305 between all the shares. So we need to find somewhere. Here is it. Look at this little piece of information. It says there are 10,000 shares. So the number of shares is 10,000 and we're going to divide the 8,305 between the 10,000, which means each share is getting 0.83. And now we need to get the share price, which was here, and was 5 euros. Okay? Now we can just apply the formula. The shareholder profitability is dividing the dividend per share by the share price. And this is how you calculate profitabilities. I hope this helps and see you in the next video.